Good evening, my friends. My name is Bjorn, and I am in Africa, Nairobi, Kenya, to be precise. And thank you for tuning in again to my channel and watching my channel. The mission of my channel is to bridge the gap between Africa and the Caribbean islands, also African Americans as well, and African Europeans, black people in Europe. We're going to bridge the gap between all of us, my friends. So if you haven't subscribed already, make sure to subscribe right now by clicking the subscription button right now, subscribe. And you could also join the channel and become a member and supporting this journey by paying a membership fee monthly, just a small fee, and become a member. And you could also support by subscribing, sharing this channel with all your friends and family, and watching all the ads on the videos as well. My friends, tonight is a very interesting topic. In the Caribbean islands is complex, you know. If you don't know, the Caribbean islands are very, very complex. Before I go on, I am from the Caribbean nation island of St. Kitts and Nevis, Twin Island Federation, 2 islands, 1 federation, separated by 2 miles of water, but it's one country, St. Kitts and Nevis, located in the Eastern Caribbean. That is where I'm from. Now, the Caribbean is made up of many different islands. For example, there are European Union islands in the Caribbean. The European Union, namely France, the Netherlands, and I think Denmark, owns Caribbean islands. Saint Martin, for example, is half Dutch and French. Then you have Guadeloupe, which is French. You have Martinique, which is French. You have Saba, which is Dutch. You have Curacao, which is Dutch. And then you have British overseas territories, as they call it, which is British colonies. You have Bermuda, which is one. You have Anguilla. You have Montserrat. You have, what else you have? British Virgin Islands as well. And then you have American islands, whereas you have Puerto Rico, that is one. You have the U.S. Virgin Islands, which is made up of St. Thomas, St. John's. Those are U.S. islands, and that is it, I think. And then you have a piece of Cuba they call Guantanamo Bay, which is a small little bit of Cuba. It's not a country, but it's a part of Cuba. And I just name a few there, but there's more. You have about 15 European Union islands in the Caribbean. Then you have about 15 independent islands, one of which I'm from, St. Kitts and Nevis, an independent island in the Caribbean, Antigua, Barbuda, Jamaica, many of you know, Cuba, you have Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados, St. Lucia, Grenada, all independent islands. But then, as I said before, you have the American islands, then you have the European Union islands, then you have the British islands. So those are the main parts of it. And the difficulty is that the island of St. Kitts and Nevis, where I'm from, I live on the island of Nevis, and I could see Guadeloupe right from the island of Nevis. You could look on a clear day and see Guadeloupe, but there's no traffic, no communication, there's no transportation between the islands, between like Guadeloupe and St. Kitts and Nevis, because Guadeloupe is French, French European Union island, and St. Kitts and Nevis is an independent island. So there's no communication, there's no boats running back and forth, there's no direct flights, and it's right there. It's like I could see it. I could see Guadeloupe right from the island of Nevis. I could stay in my yard and look down and see Guadeloupe. And I could also see Montserrat. Montserrat is British. That is one I didn't mention. But that's just to give you an idea. The US islands, the US Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico, the islands in the Caribbean need a US visa to visit those islands. Imagine that. Those islands, not Puerto Rico, but St. Thomas and St. Croix, the US Virgin Islands, are like over 90% black people live there. But the other islands around, that is not US islands, or that is not British islands. The other islands around that are independent need a visa. Their citizens need a visa to visit those US Caribbean islands. We don't need a visa to visit the European Union islands because, of course, we could travel to Europe visa-free on a St. Kitts Nevis passport. And you could travel to the UK visa-free. So we could go to Anguilla and St. Martin and Montserrat, and so visa-free. But that's just to give you an idea, because imagine there's no communication between, for example, remember I said Guadeloupe and St. Kitts and Nevis, where I'm from. But in France and England are separated, and France speaks French, England speaks English, but they have an underground tunnel connecting both countries. They have direct flights, they have a bridge, I think. So there's connection between them, between the European Union and the UK, but there's no hardly any connection between the European islands and the independent islands in the Caribbean and the US island, apart from family members who would have moved and lived in those islands. The transportation and the connection is just not there. So the European Union, look at the European Union, my friends. The European Union is well connected. Trains going back and forth. The flights are very cheap, like maybe 40, 50 euros to go to one country to the other in Europe. Very connected. Everything is together. Look at the United States of America. That is why they call them the United States of America, because the states are connected. So for the European Union to be in the Caribbean, the UK to have islands in the Caribbean, and the US to have islands in the Caribbean, I think they could do much better to connect the Caribbean together. Let all the islands connect to each other, because remember, the US is a superpower, very rich country. I think the richest country in the world. And the European Union, very wealthy. The Britain, UK, very wealthy as well. But look at the Caribbean. Look at their islands. Their islands are not booming. So that would give you an idea of they not wanting to develop the Caribbean. That is why I say the Caribbean must come together and join forces with Mother Africa, and let us develop ourselves, because there's nobody that is coming to rescue the Caribbean. There's nobody that is coming to rescue Africa. Think about it. If America is so rich and they have islands in the Caribbean, and their islands, their own islands, are not well developed, what do you think they're going to do with yours? You think they're going to develop yours? No, 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 my friends. It's not going to happen. Look at the UK. Look at Montserrat. Look at Anguilla. Look at even Bermuda. Bermuda is a little more developed. But look at the British Virgin Islands, Tortola and so. Are they well developed? Look at England, compare. When you go to Britain, when I went to England for the first time, my friends, I couldn't believe it. I was shocked because I was saying, wow, how could England own all these islands, including my island? We got independence in 1983. But how could England own all these islands for hundreds of years and have them in the state of a lack of development and struggling? And then when I went to England and I look around, I'm shocked. I'm like, what? England is well developed. These guys didn't do any work at all in the Caribbean. They didn't build any roads, they didn't build any bridges, they didn't build up any infrastructure. If England, if the UK, if France, if the Netherlands, if the United States of America wanted to develop the Caribbean, they would have done so a long time ago, my friends. So that is why I say it's not going to happen. Their only mission in the Caribbean is to come to the islands, relax on the beach, have a good time, and keep the islands divided, because that is their style, divide and conquer. That is why they put no communication. They have no flights flying between the islands. If they wanted that, the US could have flights flying between the Caribbean easy, connecting the islands. The European Union could connect the islands easy if they want. The UK can do the same thing. But they're not doing that, which means their mission is to keep the islands divided. They want to come for vacation, relax on the beach, enjoy the sun, enjoy the hospitality, get people to serve them. That is all they want to do, my friends. So that is why I say their mission is to divide the Caribbean and to enjoy life. Development, they're not thinking about any development anytime soon. The Caribbean will have to develop itself. Africa will have to develop itself. So let us join forces. That is why my mission is to bridge the gap between Africa and the Caribbean, my friends. It's a worthy cause. I want you to support the cause by subscribing to my channel, by sharing the videos, liking the videos as well, watching all the ads, and just commenting as well. You could comment on this video. Let me know your thoughts on what you think of this topic, and you could give me more topic for future videos. My friends, I am Bjorn. I am in Africa right now, and the mission of this channel is to bridge the gap between Africa and the Caribbean. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you again in the next video, of course. And I have some great news before I go. We are almost at 4,000 subscribers. I think by the next video, I will be giving you the good news that we're over 4,000 subscribers. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing my videos, for watching the ads, for liking, for commenting. Because of you, we're growing fast. And because of you, we will be reaching over 4,000 subscribers on the road to 5,000, and then we're gonna go all the way to 10,000 and make our way up to 20. Then we're gonna be flying down to 100. Then we're up to 1,000,000, my friends. So that is the mission. This channel is gonna grow massive, 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 and then they will feel the strength of us, because we will bridge the gap. We will bring Africa and the Caribbean, Black America, Black Europe together as one, my friends. Thank you for watching this channel, and I'll see you again in the next video. My name is Bjorn, and I am in Africa. Bjorn in Africa, signing out. Bye-bye.